What's going on YouTube? Running Sports back here with another video. Today is our week 1 review from the NFL season, and got some great games to talk about, and just overall going to be giving you our thoughts. So if you've not subscribed already, please leave a like down below and share this with your friends. Follow our social media pages at Runningun_sports on Instagram, at Runningun Sports on TikTok, and let's get right into it with the Dallas Cowboys falling just short to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this was one of the best games of the week. Started out with the best first game of the season, one of the best games of the season, and a very high amount of passing. If you liked seeing the ball being thrown around a lot, then this was your game. Both quarterbacks attempted 50 plus passing attempts, and Tom Brady 32 of 50 and Dak Prescott 42 of 58. Dak Prescott 403 yards, 3 touchdowns and interception. Tom Brady 32 of 50, 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and neither of these teams could run the ball at all. Ezekiel Elliott 11 carries, 33 yards. Leonard Fournette 9 carries, 32 yards, and they passed the ball very well, obviously, and some great receiving stats for some guys were a result of that. Amari Cooper, 13 receptions, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 7 receptions, 104 yards, and a touchdown. And the Buccaneers also had some nice contribution from the wide receiving core. Antonio Brown, 5 receptions, 121 yards, a touchdown. Chris Godwin, 9 receptions, 105 yards, a touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, 8 receptions, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. But this game really came down to is, one, the Bucs defense is better than the Cowboys, and obviously that helped. But they gave Tom Brady too much time, 1 minute 24 seconds, for him to go down and score a field goal is easy for him. So that really was it at the end of the day. But a great game overall. The Eagles versus the Falcons. This is a game that really surprised me. The Eagles defeating the Falcons 32-6. Jalen Hurts, 3 touchdowns, 27 of 35, and 264 passing yards, threw his first touchdown pass of the season to Devontae Smith, with 6 receptions, 71 yards, and a touchdown. And the Falcons just could not get anything going on the offensive side of the ball. Struggle for them, and they've got to turn it around big time because their offense is their strength and their defense really struggles. The Steelers versus the Bills. The Buffalo Bills fall short 23-16. Ben Roethlisberger 18 of 32, 188 yards and a touchdown. Not great numbers, not good numbers really. And he just did not perform well, but his defense is so good that he's able to play a bad game like that and still win the game, of course. Josh Allen, 30 of 51, 270 yards and a touchdown. He looked pretty bad in this game, but he's going against one of the best defenses in the league, so I'll give him that credit, but just not a good game for him. He just looked really off, and it obviously showed. Najee Harris didn't come out on offense once. He's played every offensive snap for the Steelers, 16 carries, 45 yards. I'd like to see a little more contribution from him, but it's his first game as a rookie. I believe he will have better games in his career. But the Steelers win it from their defense for sure. Buffalo Bills, the blocked punt return for a touchdown obviously hurt him too. So the Vikings versus the Bengals. The Bengals defeat the Vikings in overtime, 27-24. Joe Burrow had a very nice game, 20 of 27, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kirk Cousins had a nice game as well, 36 of 49, 351 yards, 2 touchdowns. And both the teams, this was just an offensive explosion, and it just came down to the very end, and the Vikings have a lot to clean up after this game, but a very close game at the end of the day. 49ers versus Lions, a game that the 49ers were winning by a whole lot and ended up making it a lot closer than it should have been. And just not a good look for them. 41-33, they should have won by a lot more, and gave the Lions a big chance to come back into this game. The Lions should not be competing with the 49ers. Arizona Cardinals destroyed the Tennessee Titans last week. He had a great game. Kyler Murray, 5 total touchdowns, 1 rushing, 4 passing, 21-32, 289 yards. Ryan Tannehill did not do well, 21-35, 212 yards and a touchdown. Just the Titans could not get anything done on offense, and it hurt them at the end. And just 5 sacks from Chandler Jones, and their defense was too much and their offense was not helping them out. Just a team effort and a loss. It was a bad game for them. The Seahawks versus the Colts. As a Seahawks fan, I was really happy with this game. The Colts defense have a very good defense, and they really pride themselves in not giving up big plays, but they did that this week a lot. Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett. Russell Wilson had a great game, 18 of 23, 254 yards, 4 touchdowns. Other than the 4 touchdowns, those are not crazy stats by any means or anything like that. But 254 yards. But he was very efficient, and I liked the way they played, and he played really well. So they looked good. Chris Carson, guy that I haven't been so hot on as a Seahawks fan, 16 carries for 91 yards. That's a pretty solid game as well. Tyler Lockett, 4 receptions, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor really is their only option for the Colts offense, and he had 116 total yards. But they've got to get him some other weapons, and they can to distribute the ball for sure. Chargers versus the Washington football team, a very good game. The Chargers came out on top 20-16. Herbert threw for 337 yards, touchdown and interception. Taylor Heineke comes in for Ryan Fitzpatrick, 11 of 15, 122 yards and a touchdown. And this was a defensive battle, but the Chargers, their offense definitely won them this game. If they didn't have a good offense, then they wouldn't have been close in this game. The Jets versus the Panthers, the revenge game. The Jets come out to see Sam Darnold's new home team, the Carolina Panthers, and another close game. Sam Darnold played okay versus his former team, 24-35, 279 yards and a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, 21 carries for 98 yards, pretty good game, and 89 yards receiving on 9 receptions. And so good game for him. A total of 87 total yards for McCaffrey. Like I said about the Colts, they need to find other options though to throw the ball. Zach Wilson, 20 of 37, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Corey Davis had a very nice game, 5 receptions, 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Browns versus the Chiefs, this game was just as close as the last time these two teams met, and it just came down to really some bad penalties, but the Browns just could not hold on to the lead, and that really hurt them at the end. So just not a lot to say about that game. Expected to be a very close game, and indeed was. Miami versus New England, the Patriots lose a close one, 17-16. Tua Tagovailoa, 16-27, 202 yards, a touchdown, interception. Mac Jones, 29-39, 281 yards and a touchdown. And this was a very low-scoring game, a defensive battle for sure. Patriots offense definitely outplayed the Miami Dolphins offense, but the Dolphins defense played better. Damian Harris, 23 carries for 100 yards, and Nelson Aguilar, 5 receptions, 72 touchdowns, and 5 receptions, 72 yards, and a touchdown. So, the defense just won them that game. The Packers versus the Saints. This is a horrible game for the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, just not a good game at all, and not a good game at all for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 15 of 28, 133 yards and 2 interceptions. Jameis Winston played lights out, 14 of 20, 148 yards and 5 touchdowns, and he did not have to do much to help that team win. Drew Brees could have beat them on one leg. The attackers just looked so terrible. The offense couldn't get anything going. It was a terrible game to watch, and just a very unspirited Packers team, which definitely has to do with Aaron Rodgers' situation in this past offseason. The Broncos defeated the New York Giants 27-13. Teddy Bridgewater had a very good game, 28 of 36, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. Daniel Jones had an okay game, 22 of 37, 267 yards and a touchdown. But Melvin Gordon III had a very slow first half, but he came on strong in the end. 11 carries, 101 yards and a touchdown. Jerry Jeudy has been injured, hoping he will be back in week 4. But the Broncos come out on top. Melvin Gordon pushing them over really at the end. The Bears versus the Rams, a Sunday night game. The Rams defense was just way too much for the Bears offense, and that showed. No surprise. It's exactly how I expected it to go. And Stafford played very well. 20 of 26, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dale Henderson, 16 carries, 70 yards, a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 7 receptions, 180 yards, and a touchdown. So it wasn't just the defense like we've seen. The offense looked very good as well. The Raiders versus the Ravens, a game like the Cowboys and Buccaneers game that was very close. Unfortunately, did not get to see either of the games. But Derek Carr, not the best game for him. 34 of 56, 435 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Lamar Jackson, 235 yards passing and a touchdown, 19 of 30. Not the best game for him. Josh Jacobs had 2 touchdowns, but Darren Waller was really the player of this game by far. Sammy Watkins had a nice game. Just came down to the very end. The Raiders just held on in the end. I think that they're probably a little more disciplined team than the Ravens are right now, I think. And so that really what won them the game late in that game. So good game at the end. The Raiders pull it out, and great end to week 1. Next video we'll be talking about our week 2 preview. So if you've not already subscribed, please subscribe, leave a like down below, share us with your friends. Thank you guys so much for watching.